I'm trying to think of a bit, but I can't. Have I just lost my touch? Hello there. Who are you? Oh, I'm your inner demon. Really? Blue hair. They flipped the script on this one. I was anticipating the return of the Monster of the Week trope, which we kinda got here. But it was sprinkled in with some more fleshed out outcomes from what we got in the previous episodes. Plus, something I wasn't expecting at all. This is why I try avoiding spoilers. What's up guys, Zio Agito back again with another Revice review, but this time, since we do have a Monster of the Week storyline with it, let's break down that little bit of the story before we get to the real nitty-gritty of it all. So we're back at the Happy Spa Helper service, as a comedy agency is having its most popular duo being targeted by Deadmen. Wait. So we're back to just regular Phase 1 Deadmen? Interesting. Go on. The suspects in this case are the other comedy duos in the agency, and Iki and Vice are recruited as bodyguards. As such, they audition as their own comedy duo, just to infiltrate the scene. Vice's bit is that he's wearing a kigurumi, but is actually a demon, and his seriousness towards the bit is what lands them a spot in the show. We finally get to meet the targets and... Wow. I actually laughed at this bit, so I guess it worked. They initially suspect one side, but when they're attacked by Deadmen, it's clear it wasn't them. So they find the other comedy duo, and that's when they get attacked by the Deadmen yet again. So that's really it for the A-plot. Let's move into the real nitty-gritty of the show. We gotta talk about the good plot points that are carrying over from the previous episodes. Hiromi 2.0 is still sad about Hiromi 1.0. That's when the plot point that's been ignored for about 10 episodes makes his appearance yet again, only to get brushed off. Talking to the director of Phoenix regarding the whereabouts of Hiromi 1.0, Daiji, who is now Hiromi 2.0, is essentially told that Hiromi 1.0 is easily replaceable. And just when Dad's out of the picture and Stepmom comes in feeling lonely, Dr. Mikushiba from the previous episode serves up Hiromi's favorite coffee style to Daiji. I've seen this film before. Daiji bitterly drinks that coffee. He's really gonna become the stepdad of Phoenix after all. After being completely bodied by Sakura last episode, Aguilera breaks up over Starbucks and ice cream with Tamaki, leaving him to cry like a bitch over to rebound Sakura and move in with her after getting a nice makeover. He just split his bangs. Ortega, on the other hand, living with all of the mannequins, has a heart-to-heart with the Demon's driver when Aguilera shows up, not over their breakup, and asks to get back together again with him. George makes a few appearances this episode, coming out of the bathhouse sporting a nice tux, but it's apparently due to the anniversary of his dad's passing. Hey, look, at least they didn't forget about this tidbit from episode 1. Also, I tried looking into the dates just to see if there was some sort of an homage that was tied into this. See, I thought they might have been doing a reference to when Kamen Rider initially went off the air, but that actually would have been a few days ago on February 10th. Same goes with the death of Ishinomori, that would have actually happened at the end of January. So, oh well, I was reaching for some reference and I guess it wasn't there. If you caught the reference, please let me know. So George gives Iki the Neo Batta ViStamp that is from the Beyond Generations movie. That still hasn't gotten a physical media release, which is why I haven't done a review for it yet. Iki, still suspicious of George after all of the Phoenix shenanigans the last few episodes, and Hiromi 1.0's experimentation. That's when George gives off his big dick energy and reaffirms who's really in control here.
だが、リバイスドライバーを作ったのはあくまで私だということを忘れないでくれたまえ。
See, that's alpha as fuck right there. Later on in the episode, a Phoenix operative shows up with the rolling ViStamp to give to Iki. It will apparently help Vice with his Rita Repulsa headaches, and even Iki is a little confused by its appearance being radically different from the previous ViStamps. Jumping into the battles, we gotta bring back a segment because this time we actually got in some new toys. So, let's talk forms. Halfway through the episode, we get the use of the Neo Batta ViStamp, which allows Revi and Vice to change into their Neo Batta genomics. And since we haven't had them use the regular Batta ViStamp, there's no accurate comparison between the two. And because this one obviously is based off of 01, and look, 01 and Revi feel very cut from the same cloth. They both look like evil writers, and the form looks good. Vice's change-up also looks good, as we get some nice action from this form, and some nice kick hopper action going on in this. So now we gotta talk the big one. When the rolling ViStamp is used, the initial henshin background of Iki and Vice chatting it up gets completely taken over by Vice. The scene that is shown in the intro is played up as Vice melts and hijacks Iki. Holy fuck, this scene gave me some feels of what the fuckery, but it was great. I was honestly expecting a Kamen Rider double situation where two minds came in as one, but nope. Firmly hijacked, this is Kamen Rider Revice, as Vice is in full control here. Let me just say, this suit looks great. The black and gray with blue accents, it's great. The Vice hair spikes on the side, great. Maybe if the blue accents were red, but you know what? The blue works fine. The blue works with Vice. The blue works with Vice, so I can't complain. And when he transforms and realizes that it's just him, he just goes wild, having his own rolling ViStamp finish firmly pressing onto the Deadmans. And then, when he dehenshins, it's just Vice. So, the big mystery is, where did the rolling ViStamp come from? Although some will point to Weekend, I'm heavily leaning on Phoenix. For one, the person that delivered it was in a Phoenix uniform, and of course it's probably easy to get a hold of one of those, but look, if you're in the know, you probably have this. And also, who would have firm control over Phoenix? Why, the director. Where else is there technology which can serve to create such a ViStamp? Phoenix. Yes, I think the director is starting to make his moves more radically shown by sending out this ViStamp. Iki is now faded from the picture. Well, not really. It would suck if this was the big reveal on his disappearance. Which, if you noticed earlier in the episode, there is a clear shot of the family photo, and of course Iki is still in the picture. Now, next episode, if say Iki is missing from that picture, if we get a shot as clean as this one, maybe. Another major call out is, where did these new Deadmen come from? I really don't think that they're from Ortega, especially since we've regressed back to phase 1s, which is why there was also no need for Iki having to use his more powerful forms, since no separation between the user and the Deadmen had to be made. They also changed up the intro yet again. Hiromi is as gone as ever, and the Deadman trio are replaced with Weekend. We also get a sibling writer montage, and that's just fabulous. As mentioned in the beginning, I really thought that this episode was going to disappoint and go back to a lot of the early episode stuff, but we definitely got something good brewing here. This episode is definitely getting the Aguilera A. I really was taken by surprise, and not knowing the spoiler of this form's gimmick, as much as some folks tried getting me to spoil myself on stream the other day, but the moment was really one of those oh shit moments for me, and it helped elevate its status for me. Overall, the episode really just felt like a lot of fun, and it didn't have as much story grind going into it, but it still ended up working out with the A-plot balancing the storyline. So what did you guys think about this one? We really got a lot going on without a lot being said this episode. And that's some good exposition right there. Who do you think sent the rolling ViStamp? Will Aguilera and Ortega get back together? Will Tamaki and Sakura hook up? What about Daiji and Lady Doctor? Or George with himself? Nah, I'm just teasing on this one. I really hate shipping. Well, that's it for me. I will catch you all next week just to see how this is going to end up playing out and how Vice's day off will resume. Until next time, bye.